if you're the one offering it up than the one that's falling into the sin and falling on your face because of the temptation. But the temptations out there are great. And the greatest temptation is to give up on the system that we have and to be part of, to give up on the hope of a better world, to be ideal, an ideal society, and say that's impractical. You're an idealist, you're a pipe dreamer. Okay, your opinion is irrelevant. Your opinion is stupid because you're an idealist. Okay, and you're the one that's got the problem. I'm the one that's bought into the system now. I got in there. I've got a government job, whether it be city, state, county, federal, or maybe it's just quasi-government. Kinda, sorta government. Whatever it is, it's establishmentarian. You say, I'm on the side of status quo. I know which side my bread is butter on, like all these political whores out there. All the mainstream media whores that go along with it. All the educational whores, all these professors in these universities and all their great learning. They're all prostituting themselves to the money masters. These are the grand sorcerers. These are the money printers. These are the kingpins. These are the great Satanists. And if you want change, you've got to go for the jugular. So this, again, to sum up this video, I'm always harping on sound currency because this is what they will not tolerate. This is a means to an end. This goes back to what Jesus taught. The love of money is the root of all evil. So we've got to somehow figure out a way, use tact and understanding and knowledge and wisdom to wean ourselves off the money, to try to render it less and less relevant instead of more and more relevant like they want us to. It's a false competing God that's imposing a false form of reverence on us, a perverted form of reverence, of fear, making us afraid that if we don't cave into this current paradigm, this monetary-based reality that's been inflicted on us, foisted on us, we've got no choice. If we want to eat, we've got to go buy bread. And God knows that. We can have that. We can use money, but in a healthy way, understanding it's only a means to the end. And the end is freedom and liberty for all of us. It can never be for some of us. We will never attain true happiness because God is a giver of that true happiness. And until our hearts and minds and spirits and souls are right with His will for us, then we will never have that happiness. And we can never be okay with a fellow human being. That is a brother or a sister. That is a child of God that is beloved by God as you or me or any of us are. We cannot divorce ourselves from them and expect to ever find true happiness. Our problems, we literally have to understand, are each other's problems. That man in the gutter that is dying and perishing out there is Jesus. That's how we are to look at this thing. And we are to care about him as our own flesh and blood, as our own selves. And if we don't do that, we're not pleasing God. And if we don't please God, all this is in vain. The whole journey of trying to be a decent, upright character, a member of society, and try to make any true progress is all in vain if we can't understand the big picture and where we want to be and enjoying our lives on the way, because we not only have a right to enjoy the journey, we have an obligation to our children, our children's children, to set a good example. Because if anybody deserves to take a break and stop and smell the roses, it is the decent, the upright among us that deserve to do that. And to have a little peace of mind. And to find true happiness. And that is what I wish for everybody out there. I wish the best for everybody because that's what I want for myself. That's what I want for my children. And, you know, it may be that humanity does continue to descend into greater and greater invented tyranny by our oppressors through economics. This is how they do it. This is their method. Greater impoverishment and austerity. It gets harder and harder and harder to have any little thing. until the return of Jesus. This may be the case. But you know what? One way or another, God's will is going to be done on earth. And that's what you should trust in, to believe God. It's promised that way, so count on it happening. That always remember that love is more powerful than hate, that good is stronger than bad, and God will prevail in this final fight to the finish. Because at this point in history, it's utterly ridiculous that humanity has made anti-progress and that we're at this point. Satan may be triumphing now, but he's going to be scared to death very soon, because this whole thing is coming to a head. It's coming to a pinnacle. It's coming to a grand finale. It's a crescendo to beat the band like no other. Like no other time in history, there is going to be change on earth. This great and final change that Jesus is bringing. And happy Easter, everybody out there, and understand the significance